My name is Amanda Chenai. I'm a young woman leader. I was a participant for the Women Rise and Excel program. I'm now alumni. During the COVID-19, we decided to do art and graffiti on the wall in response to the crisis that we saw in the community. We saw that traditional forms of media were not reaching out to the masses of people, the young women, the girls, the youths, the elder people. So we decided to do an art and graffiti project that had encryption of the COVID precautions, the public health precautions, which we saw that they were good to the community and people could interact with them on a personal basis, because most of the traditional media people, sometimes they had no access to television, they had no access to radio, but as they walked in communities, they could relate with our art that was on the wall. So I decided to initiate the program and say, okay guys, what can we do? Let's have something that talks to the people, something that people can interact with and say, okay, what's that? Because most people in our community were thinking COVID-19 is an apocalypse. It was not real, but we wanted to tell them that this was a public health threat, not only in Zimbabwe but in our community in Chitungwiza, because people thought it was far-fetched. It was in Bulawayo, it was in London, but close to our home this was happening, and we decided to make sure that we have something that interacts with the people, and people can ask, oh really, COVID, what can we do? We can wear the mask, we can wash our hands, we can sanitize. So yeah, during COVID-19, that has been much of our activity in the community. This is our home. What motivated me was I saw an opportunity that there was no one doing anything. People were just quiet, and people were quiet, people were afraid, people were just talking. There were a lot of rumors, COVID, there were a lot of apocalypse and wrong information. So we decided to engage with the local council and the local Ministry of Health and Child Welfare so that we could get accurate information on what really COVID-19 is. So before we even had our images, we actually had them so that they could approve them, whether they were actually correct with the correct information, like for fact approval. So my motivation mainly was to see a better community an informed community. That was my motivation, to see people were informed, people were scared, people they had mixed feelings or mixed opinions. So we just want to say this straight out, what really COVID-19 was, and people start a conversation around COVID-19, around its public health precautions and everything. Community service to me is being part and parcel of the community that you are and seeing a gap and trying to make sure you become a servant for yourself. To other young women, I would say you should be passionate about something. Be passionate about life. Be passionate about the community that's around you. It starts with you. Be passionate. Be observant, because it just didn't start. I just had to observe what's going wrong, because people were talking. I couldn't just, I don't know. I just feel community service now more like a calling. You actually feel unease. You actually feel you need to do something. You can't be quiet when everyone is seeking for information around COVID-19 and wait that people, probably community health workers, will give people pamphlets. You should do something. So to any other young women around community service, I'll tell them to be passionate about your community, because the community is not the leaders. It's the people in the community. It's because most people feel the community is the councillor, the community is the MP, the community is us, the people, the citizens, the inhabitants of the certain area. We make the community and we make it what we want to be. So about community service, you look at your community, you say, okay, fine, is this the community that I want? The community that you envision is the community that you take placement to it. Okay, fine, I want a community that has trees, I want a community that has this and